call kind of the long, dark winter, it's easy to kind of fall into a slump, I think. And I think it's our job as just kind of good citizens to stay healthy. I mean, that's like our number one job, to not get sick, to not burden the system, but to also, maintain our emotional health as we go through this. And it's challenging because we're so, not doing the things that we're used to doing. But we can get through this. We've already demonstrated, we got through 10 months already. We've learned a tremendous amount about how to get through this pandemic, right? We know so much more now than we did in March. In March, it was like masks and what's this social, I remember saying the word social distancing to a friend of mine who lives in Mays Landing. And he said, well, I know what social is and I know what distance is, but I don't know the two together. What is that? I mean, it was like this concept. And now it's like, it rolls off our tongue like, we know what social distancing is. Of course we do. All the things that we've learned and been through together, um, in people and different approaches to this. I mean, it's as varied, as you can get. Some people, when I walk in the park, some people don't wear a mask in the park, others do. But when you go inside, you do wear a mask. And now some people are wearing two masks. I mean, just the whole masking thing. It's something, you wonder, maybe masks will always be with us now in the winter. Maybe we'll just wear masks when we go to the grocery store because it prevents flu. And it's like our job to try to stay healthy right now. So moving our body is one way of staying healthy physically and also emotionally. It has a huge emotional impact. I think if I've ever, been an exerciser, it's been as much for my head as it has been for my body because of, there's endorphins that are released when you exercise. And even in a chair yoga, even in a moderate exercise, it makes a marked difference in our outlook. I bet your day today will go better because you're here right now and we're doing this together. I bet you anything. If I came back next week and said, did you notice that by the end of Tuesday, your outlook was brighter? I wouldn't surprise me if you said yes. So I hope that's true. I hope that that's what this does because it does it for me. And I hope by extension, it does it for you. So we always like to start in a comfortable seated position. And even though we're not doing so much in a standing position, we can also align our bodies in a comfortable, properly aligned seated position. And in yoga, we call this true north. So I want you to start plant with your feet firmly on the ground. I'm wearing socks today, but I can still feel my feet on the ground. I want you to lift your toes up and try to spread them like you're getting a pedicure and they put those little foam things between your toes. Try to spread your toes out and then lower your toes down to the ground. Feel the pads of your toes on the ground. See if you can feel the pad over by your pinky toe and come around to the pad of your big toe. So your toes, the toe pads are firmly on the ground. Now feel your heel. See if you can kind of shift your weight to the outside of your back heel and then to the inside. So these are what we call the four corners of our feet. Now draw the arch of your foot up. So many of us are kind of flat-footed, but when you try to draw your arch up, it's a weird, you might not even really be able to do it, but it engages the muscles on the inside of your shin. And by drawing your arch up, it kind of adds lightness to your leg. You're drawing your leg up. Your toes are pointed forward. So we feel all of our foot on the mat and our big toes are pointed straight ahead. And we look down, now look down and see You can see your toes when you look down. That's good. Your knees are right on top of your ankles. So there's a complete alignment there. And your knees are hip width distance. So they're not way apart and they're not together. They're hip distance apart. And then you come up and your thighs come right straight back into your hips. And your hips and your sit bones are right on your chair, even. So you're not leaning to one side or the other. And then you come up and your shoulders are right on top of your hips. And your ears are right on top of your shoulder. And your chin is back, so you're not jutting forward. Everything and the crown of your head is pulling up to the ceiling. So you can sort of feel that. When you do that, maybe your abdominal muscles engage. And that slight feeling like you're zipping up your favorite pair of pants. Another way that we say it is drawing your belly button to your spine. That engagement. So as you draw up, you engage your abdominals. And the other key thing is a lot of us, our shoulders, we're kind of walking around like this, or our shoulders, draw your shoulders, bring your shoulders up to your ears. So hunch them up and then draw them around and down. So your shoulders are sinking down your back. So as you're doing all these things, drawing up with the crown of your head, back with your chin, ears aligned with your shoulders dropped, hands can be resting comfortably on your thighs, your knees are right over your ankles, your toes are at 12 o'clock. You have a very firm seat on your chair. Maybe there's a slight curvature of your spine. Maybe the lower part of your spine is curving and that's just a natural curvature. But this is true north in seated yoga. Super, super strong seat. Let's start by closing our eyes and doing some deep breathing. Just start with your natural breath and notice it. Are you breathing? Are you inflating your chest, or are you going down and inflating your belly and then up through your chest? Try to employ that just with your natural breath. Inflate your belly and then move up to your lungs and then out. Again. The air moves up and out in reverse. Now, up and out in reverse. In yoga, there are 3 what are called bandhas, which are locks. There's a lock right at your lower belly, right in your right below your belly button. There's a lock at your diaphragm, and there's a lock at your neck, the Jahalara bandha. I'm not saying it very well. And that lock that's right in your throat, that's the lock that we employ when we do ujjayi breathing. So ujjayi breathing is you're constricting your throat. You're tightening your throat so that when you breathe in, it's making a sound. It's giving an auditory quality to your breath, and it allows you to hear the rhythm of your breath. And it's something that we do throughout the practice. So try to employ this locking, this Jahalara bandha at your throat. And it's really helped when you kind of draw your chin back a little bit. So start employing ujjayi breathing by locking that bandha and constricting your throat and making an auditory sound. And we'll do this on the count of 4. So breathe in, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. Breathe out, 1, 2, 3, 4. And it should sound like this. Just listen to my breathing. It's like the ocean. Let's do it again with the sound of constricting breath. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold at the top and exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do 2 more rounds. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Last breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold and breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bring your hands to your heart. Press your thumb knuckles into your chest wall. And we'll begin practice with the sound of 1 Om. Breathe in. Exhale. Breathe in. Om. Good. Blink open your eyes. Place your left hand on your knee and stretch your right arm up to the sky. Look up at your right thumb and bend over to your left, bringing your left ear down to meet your left shoulder. Keeping your sit bones straight on your chair, come back up, look up at your right hand and bring it down to your knee. Extend your left hand up, look up at your thumb. Now stretch over to your right, bring your right ear to your right shoulder. Big side body stretch. Extend that arm up, look up at it, bring that hand down to your knee. Right arm up, look up, extend over. Again, big side body stretch. You really feel it through your torso. Look back up, bring that hand down. Left arm up, left ear to left shoulder, stretch over, up and down. Bring your shoulders up to the ear and roll them back down your back so that their shoulder blades are almost coming together and that you really drop your shoulder, drop your chin to chest. Inhale, look up. Exhale, chin to chest. Look up, chin all the way up. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, look up. Left ear to left shoulder. Inhale, exhale, right ear to right shoulder. Look up. Exhale, left ear to left shoulder. Inhale, look up. Right ear to right shoulder. Now we're going to really roll our head all the way around. So down, exhale. Inhale as you come back around, look up. Exhale as you come around and down. Inhale, come around. Really accentuate this movement, keeping your shoulders steady. You're just really rolling your head. Come around again. One more time in this direction. Now reverse directions. Keep your shoulders down. Breathe in as you come around. Exhale deeply. One more time. and come back to center. Good job. So we woke up our neck a little bit. My neck is really creaky. Boy, does it creak, particularly when I go to the right. Whew. I don't know about you guys. So yeah, we woke up our neck. Let's wake up our hands. Stop and open and close your fingers for 30 times as quickly as you can. 1, 2, 3. Really extend. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Good job. You'll be ready to knead your bread today. And kind of swivel your hands around, maybe clasp, doing opposite clasp. Even put your hands on your knees. Press your fingers together, draw away. See if you can even rotate your fingers towards your body. Draw away. Again, you're feeling this in your shoulders. Good job. Good. Let's do some seated cat-cow. So look down, have your knees or legs change position. Your toes are at 12 o'clock. Your knees are right above your ankles, and your knees are hip width distance. So we're going to look up, breathe in. Now round your back and exhale. Really swiveling your hips forward and back. Look up. Breathe in, exhale, round. Breathe in, exhale, breathe out. Breathe in, look up, exhale, breathe out. One more time. Big inhale, look up, exhale, breathe out. Bring your ankle to your knee. And again, let's keep your legs straight. So my ankle's right on top of my knee, and that knee's still right on top of my ankle. Make any adjustment that you need. And place your hands on that knee and push away. You feel this in your hip, I think. I feel it in my hip. This is figure 4. We can do this same position on our backs, but we can do it in the chair and it's just as effective. Push away. Now, take your hands away. We're going to rotate our ankle around and maybe flex your toes as you do this. If your toes are like mine, they're cracking, you can put your hands wherever is comfortable, doesn't matter. And now go in the opposite direction. So we're bringing some flexibility to our ankles. We ask a lot of our feet. If you think about all that we stomp on them, we place all our weight on them, we ask a lot. And it's really good to give them a little bit of love and a little bit of some added flexibility. Drop your right knee to the floor and bring your left ankle on top of your right knee. Again, your right knee is right out in front. You can see I'm not completely flat here. I probably never will be. I probably never have been, but you can push away and you feel this in your hip joint. At least I do. And we're just getting some hip opening. Our hips stiffen up as we sit so much. This is a really good thing to try to practice. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. One more breath in and breathe out. Now, really roll that ankle around and flex your toes maybe a little bit and roll the other way. Try to, now both my feet are down back on, try to extend your right leg out in front of you. There's my big socked foot, and now I'm rolling out with my extended leg. If you can hold your leg, if that works better, extend it this way and then the other way, and do that with your other leg. You can hold it if that works, and kind of revolving your foot around, giving your ankle a little more love. Good. Let's just stretch out our back a little bit more. Come forward on your chair and place your hands, I don't know how your chair is, but place your hands behind your back. Draw your shoulders towards one another and your shoulder blades down your back. And now stretch up and look up. And come back to a neutral back. And let's do that again. This is a back bend. You may feel that in your lower back, but it's really good way of really stretching out your shoulders. One more time. Look up. Good. Come back to a normal seat and draw your right shoulder across and maybe give it an assist, keeping your body facing forward. And switch arms, keeping your body facing forward. Breathing. Good. So we woke up our body just then. I don't know if you feel it. You can kind of roll your shoulders around and maybe in the opposite direction. Just bring some fluidity to our shoulders. Let's do some salutations. Bring your hands to your heart. Look up, mountain pose. Engage your abdominal muscles. Bring your hands to the floor. Maybe you can put your hand fully on the floor or maybe fingertips. Bring your hands to your knee. Come forward like you're in chair pose. We literally are in chair pose. Bring your hands back to cactus. Draw your shoulder blades together. Come back down, hands on mat. Come up, draw up, using your abdominals. Look up into mountain pose. Bring your hands to heart. Breathe out. Inhale. Exhale as you go to your floor with your hands. Breathe in, mountain pose. Exhale, hands to heart. So as you go through these salutations, you've probably noticed you want to do it on breath. So we start at hands to heart. We breathe in, we breathe out. I'll just go through the breath with you. Breathe in as you go up to mountain. Breathe out as you come down. That's just sort of natural. When you come up to your knees, you breathe in. You breathe out as you extend forward into chair. You breathe in as you come back to cactus. Feels natural, right? You breathe out as you come down to the floor. You breathe in when you go up to mountain and you really draw up with your abdominals. You breathe out when you bring your hands to prayer. Now here's the tricky part. You breathe in because you breathe out when you go down. You breathe in when you go up to mountain, and you breathe out when you come to prayer. So when you do this, I'll try to cue the breath, but you get the feeling, certainly when you go down, you breathe out. When you come up, you breathe in. There's only one part when we're at prayer where we breathe out and in, because then we go down. Try to employ Ujjayi breathing when you're doing this. So use that bandha in your throat to make that audible sound of breath. Okay, so breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, mountain. Breathe out, hands to mat. Breathe in, hands on knee. Breathe out, chair. Breathe in, cactus. Breathe out, hands to mat. Breathe in, mountain. Breathe out, hands to prayer. Breathe in, breathe out, down to mat. Breathe in, mountain. Breathe out, hands to prayer. And when we draw up from hands to mat and we go up to mountain, that's probably the biggest movement that we're doing. When you take that movement, you're doing it on an inhale, you draw your abdominals in, like you're zipping up your favorite pants. So add that conscious piece to this practice. Okay, hands to heart, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, mountain. Breathe out, hands to mat. Breathe in, hands to knee. Breathe out, forward to chair. Breathe in, hands back to cactus. Breathe out, hands to mat. Here we go, breathe in, hands up to mountain. Breathe out, hands to prayer. Breathe in, breathe out, hands to mat. Breathe in, abdominals, up to mountain. Breathe out, hands to prayer. Let's do it one more time. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, mountain. Breathe out, hands to mat. Breathe in, hands to knee, tall back. Breathe out, chair. Breathe in, cactus arms. Breathe out, hands to mat. Breathe in, mountain. Breathe out, hands to prayer. Breathe in, hands to mat. Breathe in, mountain. Breathe out, hands to prayer. And bring your hands to your knees. Good. I'm going to take a drink of water. So let's do a little bit of balance work. Let's come up to our chair. Let's place our chair really in any comfortable way, but make it so that you can hold on to your chair. So we're going to, let's practice the most basic balance, which is lifting your foot up off the floor. Just bring your right foot up off the floor. See if you can let go of your chair for a moment or two. If you need to, just put it back. See how that feels. Right there, you're balancing. Maybe you can bring your hands to heart or right there at chair. Good job. So let's practice bringing your foot to the inside of your calf. Now, this is also a hip opener. So we can gently stroke our right, I'm lifted with my right knee, and I'm trying to draw open my right knee more while keeping my left hip bone facing front. So there's an alignment cue here. You can hold onto the chair. So unlock your standing leg. It's always a good idea to unlock that standing leg because that makes your muscles work. I know I've probably said that before, you're probably tired of hearing it, but it's true. So bring some unlock and try to open that right hip. Again, it's another hip opener. Hold on to the chair as you need to, but try to release for a second or two and just see how that feels. Put that foot on the mat. Good job. We're going to really work on our raising our right leg, and then we'll switch the chair and do the left side. Now, we haven't practiced this, but we can do a balance called airplane, holding on to the chair, having the chair there for support. So airplane in non-chair yoga is lifting your leg, and you lift it like you're going through molasses, so slow, and you bring your arms behind you, and you bring your pinkies to try to touch, and you bring some up dog to your chest. And you try to lift that leg up and breathe. So let's do that with a chair. So we have the chair, we're holding on like you're going through molasses. So look down at your feet, you're at 12 o'clock with your toes. Your hips are right over your ankles, everything's lined up, your shoulders, your chin's back. You've got your Ujjayi breath going. You can hold onto your chair and kick that leg back slowly and try to bring in my case, the left arm, which is opposite to the raised leg, back behind you. Maybe you can practice taking your hand off your chair for a second. It's right there. And try to bring that leg, extend it back, and now bring it down to the floor. So that's standing airplane. That's cool, right? There's another way of doing airplane. It's called Warrior 3. So, we've got our Warrior 1, we've got a Warrior 2. Warrior 3 is sort of like airplane, only our arms are extended out in front of us, right? So let's try to do that position holding on. So now we're going to kick that leg back, and now we're going to so I'm kicking my right leg back, and I'm holding on to my right hand with my right on the chair. I'm going to extend my left hand out in front of us. So I'm trying to get my arm and my leg parallel with one another. Maybe you can do that, maybe not. Maybe your leg is tipping down, but anyways, and see if you can release the chair for a second. See if it's there for you. And now draw your foot down. Good job. It's kind of fun, right? I think it's fun. Let's come back. We did a little bit of a tree there. So we did a little tree. Let's do eagle. So eagle is that bind, and where you wrap your arms and your legs. So if this is available to you, do that, or hold on to your chair. Wrap your like you're sitting in a chair. You're just going to wrap your knee over. I'm wrapping my right leg over my left, and I'm going to sit like I'm going into a chair and try to release off of the chair. Just practice. If you can't get all the way around, just as much as your leg can, and you're trying to get your butt back lower. So you're trying to actually get in like you're sitting in a chair. Good. Okay, let's switch and do the other side, if I can remember this whole sequence. So we're going to come up, we're going to start just by simply raising our left leg. Just basic. Raise your left leg. You can practice this everywhere. So I'm holding on, release. Just practice simply raising your leg as long as you've got something you can hold on to if you lose your balance. So it could be your kitchen sink, could be anywhere. And this simple practice right here of just practicing your balance will go a long way to improving balance. I promise you, because I've done it. I don't have great balance, but I'm standing on line. I just raise my foot, and then I put it down. If I have something to grab a hold of, that's great. But you'll get to the point where you won't be dependent on that thing, and you can just raise your leg, bring some bend to that standing leg. You don't want to lock it out. You want to bend, and that little movement of just bending and maybe straightening a little bit, that little teeny, amazingly small movement is really good because you're really working the muscles in that standing leg, and you're also bringing balance. Try to make sure everything's aligned, so you're thinking about your alignment too. That is a great thing to practice wherever you are. So then, or you can add a little bit of a hip opener. So we were doing this by bringing, I've got my foot on my shin now, and I'm opening that knee towards the chair, and I'm holding on or not. And the point here in terms of alignment is I'm feeling it. I want my hip bone facing forward, and I want my knee going out to the sidewall. So and again, unlock that standing leg. So this is now more advanced than just raising your leg. This is obviously because you're bringing some hip opening to this, and you can hold on. So you can just hold on. So it's less of a balance and more about hip opening, which is, we've mentioned when you sit a lot, your hips get tight. Good. Now come down. Then we did a little bit of an airplane. So holding on. Now, again, everything's lined up. Let's see how my line is looking good. Okay. We're going to kick my left foot back like I'm going through molasses. And I'm going to bring my right arm behind me. And I'm trying to bring, my palm is facing down, and I'm bringing it behind me. I'm trying to lift my left leg up so it's almost parallel, and I'm looking up. You can see I'm looking right at you. And then you can come down. So maybe you don't go up that far. Maybe you just go up a little ways. But again, it's just another balance, and see if you can let go. Maybe you can't, maybe you got to touch. It's fine. And then we talked about, so airplane is when you go back with your arms, you bring some up dog to your chest, you kick back, you flex your toes, and you wobble. And then warrior 3 is when you come forward. What are these things? Excuse me, computer issues. There we go. Warrior 3 is when you extend your arm out in front of you. So you're kicking back, hold on with the chair, kick back, and then extend your arm out in front. My thumb is facing the ceiling. And again, and draw it back. Good. And then whatever your eagle look like, you can do a double bind with you come into a chair seat, and then you wrap your leg, hold onto the chair, bring your leg around just as much as you can. Maybe you're just crossing your knees, but the point is you're sinking your hips like you're trying to get into a chair. But it's a bit of a balance. You can try to let go. Breathe. So with all of these balance poses, in addition to, if your body is lopsided, it's going to make the balance more difficult. So it's good to see that things are lined up. It's good to use that Ujjayi breathing, because if you're really concentrating on your breath, breathing in and out, you're thinking about something other than losing balance. So that's good. And then drishti. And drishti is that gaze where you're looking at something on the wall or anything in front of you, it's almost like you're looking at it so intently that it gets blurry. So let's take whatever balance and just practice. Let's practice together. Breath, well, looking at our alignment so that we're not lopsided. That breath, using Ujjayi breath, and drishti. So you go into whatever balance you like the most and see how it goes. So maybe it's just lifting your leg. Maybe it's opening it up into tree. Breathe. Drishti. And good job. Good job. Okay, come back to your seat. Bring your knee up and raise your arms up. Hold for 3 breaths. And bring that foot down. Raise your left leg up and look up with your arms. Arms go up, look up, breathe. And put your foot down. Swivel around. Get your right knee facing the right wall and swing your left leg behind you. Your pelvic floor is right on your chair. Bring your arms together in prayer and breathe here. Now see if you can clasp your hands behind you. I don't know if your chair allows you to do that. I have a very small chair, but see if you can get your arms behind you, unclasp. My hands are kind of going down my back and lean forward. So hinge at the waist. See if you can raise those hands up. Maybe a little bit. Some people could probably bring their arms all the way around. That's not there for me. This is humble warrior. Good. And come back around. Let's swivel around. Now my left knee is facing forward and my right leg is facing behind me. I'm up on my toes, on my back foot. You could, if it's comfortable for you, place the top of your foot flat, but being on my back toes is more comfortable. I'm trying to get my back legs straight, but not locked. And I'm trying to see if my knee is right on top of my ankle. So look down. Sometimes the best way of doing that is look down. If you can see your toes, that's a good start. You don't want your knee caving in. You want it right over your ankle. Come up maybe to cactus arms, or maybe you can bring your arms up overhead if that's comfortable. Breathe here. Now clasp your hands behind you and hinge forward. Breathe. Good, come back up and find a comfortable seated position. You know what we didn't do? We didn't do some calf stretches. I want to do that. So come back up to a stand, and if you can, move your chair so that you can hold on to the back of your chair And I want you to step your right foot back as far as you can step it and get your heel to the floor. And I want you to bend into your left leg. So wherever that is, and you feel that in your calf, or at least I hope you do. And breathe here. Now slowly step your right foot forward and do the same thing on the left. So extend your left foot back however far you can get it, or you can get your heel on the floor, bend your right knee over your ankle for that very big calf stretch. And breathe into this. And step that foot forward. Now, come around to your seated chair. I mean, come around so that the seat of the chair is facing you. So either move your body or move your chair so that now your body is facing the seat. Place your hands on the seat and kick your right leg back. And now bring it into your nose. Kick it back. Flex the toes of your kick back foot and bring it to your nose, the knee to the nose. Inhale, kick back and knee to nose. Kick back, knee to nose. Place that foot on the mat and now kick your left foot back. Flex your toes. Try to get it as far back as you can, like stamping the wall back there with your foot. Bring it up to your nose. Kick it back on an inhale. Knee to nose. Kick it back. Knee to nose. Good job. Come back to your seat. Place your hands on your knees. Look at your alignment. Find a very comfortable seated position, your shoulders down your back. Your chin is tucking in, not tucked, but just drawn back. The crown of your head is drawn to the top of the ceiling of the room. Close your eyes and breathe. As we close our practice today, think of someone who you wish well. Maybe it's someone who makes you smile. Maybe it's someone who you know needs a little love. Maybe it's somebody you haven't seen in a long time. Wish them well. Think of something you wish well. Maybe it's an animal. Maybe it's one of your plants. Maybe it's our government. But something that you wish well, or that makes you smile. Now wish yourself well. And all of our unfinishedness. We were reminded in the inauguration by that wonderful Amanda Gorman that all of us were all unfinished. And in that unfinishedness, there's room to explore, to grow, to learn until our last breath. Breathe in and out. Bring your hands to your heart. We'll end practice with the way we began, with the sound of one Om. Breathe in and out. Breathe in. We look up, bring our thumb knuckles to our forehead. The unfinishedness in me honors the unfinishedness in you. We bow and say, Namaste, Namaste.